Good morning. Well, the Manx weather hasn't let us down again. Quarter past 6, I woke up. Bouncing rain. Oh God. The forecast that I saw last night for this morning was quite good. So I thought, oh, I've got a lovely sleepy spot right on Ramsey Prom, looking out at the rain and the clouds and these two beautiful lighthouses. And I took a shot of it was this one. Well, it could have been that one. Last time I was here, when we had a hailstone storm and ended up sheltering the other side of the river underneath some containers. It was ridiculous. The wind is just picking up. The sun is doing a very good job of hiding. There's some blue sky coming across behind us. In fact, there is some blue sky over there. But sunrise was about an hour and a half ago, so no sunrise colour. And we've got these two beautiful lighthouses. Entrance into the harbour. And the tide is on its way in. Low tide was 5 o'clock, I think, or 5:30. I think it was 5 o'clock. So just had a shimmy around to see what I could do. The right-hand lighthouse has got the lovely red band around it. The left-hand lighthouse has a green light. Obviously, that's off at the moment. If I'm shooting down low, then the horizon line just disappears underneath that sea wall. So, first composition I spotted, I'm just going to shoot, if I can, that's about as good as I'm going to get, I think. The right-hand lighthouse with the steps coming down, and then it's just lots of negative space. I'm going to put a filter on. I'm not quite sure. I don't think the polarizer is going to work because the sun's up there. I'm going to try it just to see if I can remove the glare off the water. And everything's a little bit damp after yesterday. Oh, there are pros and cons to bad weather. The con being, when you want to get out and shoot in the really soft light, you can't, because it's bouncing down rain. I don't mind a little bit of rain, the odd spit or spot here or there, but I'm not into bouncing down. The pro behind grotty weather is it tends to give you softer light. Yeah, that's taking the glare off, but it's doing rank things with the sky, which I thought it would. Might be worth a shot. Yes, you can keep shooting for a lot longer than you would normally if we have a blue sky day. Tomorrow is supposed to be a blue sky day. Goes from one extreme to the other over here. You have lots of clouds, lots of rain, and we don't get any in between. We don't get... Oh, actually, I think we'll just have a little bit of cloud and a little bit of sun. We have... Oh, no, is that the 6? No, that's the 10. We just have full on... Oh, no, we'll go blue sky day. I'm like, really? That's better. 6 stop. I'm trying desperately hard not to drop it. Ooh. I was hoping to try and get this aqua coloured water to show through. I'm shooting on the 17 to 55. I'm at f8. And white balance is all over the place. Oh God, no, I don't like that. That's better. I'm going to move up. I'm going to drop the ISO down back to 100. F11. Let's just check on my histogram. Oh, I'm right over on the edge there. 10 seconds. Let's have a look-see. There is a bank of cloud over there. Not sure about that bank of cloud. I kind of like it, but I'd like to get rid of it in the same... No, I think the polarizer is going to come off, because that's just doing icky-acky things. Yeah, and as I'm shooting into the sun, I'm getting a very, very bright spot. Oh, look, there's the sun. I think I'm going to have to walk round onto that side, because at least then I'll be shooting out this way. I'm going to lose the steps, but I won't have that horridly bright patch, which is really doing nothing at all for anything. F22, 8 seconds. Let's see what that does. Yes, I think I probably am going to have to wander around onto that side. I want the 2 lighthouses. Yeah, I've got a little bit of blown stuff on the right hand side just underneath that right pier. Let me just have a look. Which I don't think is rescuable. I think it's just lost too much detail. And it puts that lighthouse in silhouette, which I didn't want. It'll probably work as a mono, which is fine. But yes, this side is not for me. I'm going to take a wander up and round over the road bridge, wander around onto that side and shoot that away. The sky's actually a little bit better shooting that way. That bank of cloud is disappearing and it's a bit of a smoother sky. So the minimal look that I like is going to be easier to achieve, less cloning, less Photoshop, shooting from over there, that away. You've got to start somewhere. Excuse the wind noise. And if you don't try, then you don't know. There we are, that's better. The downside with standing over here is the wind's coming this way. We've also got a few spatters of rain. I've taken the polarizer to the off position, so I've got the glare. It's had no effect on the sky, which is fantastic. There is a slight blow in the middle of the sky. It's rescuable, it's nothing terminal, it's just because there is a very bright patch of sky up there. Excuse the wind noise. And excuse the bulge in my pocket. That was my filter cloth. Simple composition. I have the left hand, or the furthest pier, with the lighthouse coming out. And then I've got the right hand one sneaking in. I've managed to position it so I don't have any of this wall. So the right hand lighthouse is sort of halfway on the right hand third. I'd like to get a little bit more of the left hand one in, and it's a case of wiggling and jiggling, because I also don't want any of the white edging in. I think that might work. That's it. So I've probably gone out of shot now. Just a second. I have tried it with the 11 to 16 Takina. Yeah, we're okay there. 17mm is just wide enough to not get this white edging in. The 16mm is no good. I need to be about a foot that way. We're getting rather wet. So we've got, yes, that's better. We have got F11, 30 seconds. And I think that's okay. I don't think that's blown anything. No, it hasn't. How bizarre. I've done nothing other than move about a foot. That was ridiculous, that one. Although there's some nice detail in the rocks, in the walls of that pier. Oh, I'm sorry. No, there is just a slight blow on that right-hand side. But again, nothing that isn't actually there. And it's brought out the lighter detail in that wall. Yeah, nice smooth water. There's still a marked line between the horizon and the sky. I can't do a lot about that, because that, boys and girls, is how it is. And I've got a nice smooth sea. There's just a little bit of white movement down in this corner. There's a set of steps to lead you down. Imagine you get a boat in. Oh, there is a boat hitch there. Yes, quite like that. Now there is a structure. I apologise to the Manx residents if you're watching. I believe that that over there is the Queen Elizabeth Pier, or is it the Queen Mary Pier? It's one of those two. It's the Queen's Pier. It's well defunct, well out of use, and there's a broken bit at the end. Let me just let me turn you off, turn you around, and show you what I mean. Now, excuse the wibbly wobbliness. I've had to pick you up because the wind's a bit breezy. I don't want to knock this video camera over. That little structure there, the very end of the pier, that's fascinating me. I'm just thinking of a standalone, minimal, maybe centred, maybe to the left of the frame. That's the rest of the pier. And I can imagine in the good old days that was phenomenal. And the boats coming in and the ladies and gents in all their finery. You can just make out the stairs going down where the people would come off the boats. Like that idea, but that's a 70 to 200 shot. And probably taken from down there. Want to avoid the headland over there, and I want to avoid this end of the pier. But quite like that. So that's the next one. Whew, we found another shot. I haven't yet taken that solitary unit out there, which the more I look at it, the more I'm in love with it, because it's actually got, from this angle, 5 stanchions holding it up. And what works better in photography and design? Odds rather than evens. So that's really good. But I'm stood here looking at the end of this pier and going, where the steps come down, that might make a good standalone minimal image. So I'm zoomed in at 200mm, and it's just hitting before the standalone item, and I've gone in as close as I can to get rid of the headland, and I think that actually works quite well. There's a bit of mystery about it. Why is there a set of steps leading down into the sea? The only drawback is I need to be about 10 foot up in the air to shoot it without getting the horizon, then a small gap, and then the top of the structure. If I go down too low, the gap is even bigger, but I really would have to be, as you can see, I've gone as high up as I can, and I just can't minimise that gap. Having said that, I have got the polarizer on, which is minimising the horizon line anyway. Yeah, I don't dislike that. Yeah, I keep feeling spots of rain. The wind has now died off a little bit, which is good. And the only reason I've got my hat on is because I've got camper van hair. And the wind and the rain, it's not good. So I'm keeping it tucked out of the way. But yes, that was a kind of a flash of inspiration. And I thought for a second there was a fisherman on there, but it's not. It's a crane type structure. So now I'm going to stop faffing around and I'm going to have a go at getting that other. Now that's better because I've actually got to drop the tripod down a little bit, which is going to be interesting, to get the horizon line slap bang on the top of that structure. I presume it's the end of the pier, or what was the end of the pier. I don't know if you can see that, boys and girls. There's wild swimmers down there. Well, sea swimmers. My God! They're barking mad. Apparently it's good for the health. So they tell me. Not this baby. Right, back to the matter in hand. I found a second composition. The end of that pier, there are a set of steps leading down. And I thought, a little bit sort of random, a little bit abstract. So I framed up to lose the headland. So all I've got at the right hand side of the frame is the steps coming down. There's a structure on top which looks like a fisherman, and then negative space. 70 to 200 works a dream. The only drawback, no matter where I position myself, there is a line of metalwork, then there is a gap, and I can't get the horizon into that gap. But I'm hoping that with the use of the polarizer and the ND filter, the grad filter, I can minimise that brighter spot. The horizon runs along the metal line below the top deck of the pier, and I'd need to be about another 20 foot up in the air. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. Probably about another 10 foot up to get that gone, to get the horizon up to the base of the pier. Hey, you work with what you've got. Now, I'm now looking at, in fact, 70 to 200. I'm actually using the histogram quite a lot at the moment because I don't really want to blow the image. F14, 15 seconds. I do want to try and smooth the water out. I want it to be really abstract, really minimal. And there's just, instead of just being a straight pier, you've got the added interest of the steps going down. Yes, that's better. I don't think we've got any blinkies on that, have we? No, we haven't got any blinkies. Excellent. Yeah, I think that's all right. That's focused. Yep, and all across the top of it are cormorants in their thousands. Yeah, so I'm having a great time. I've done a couple of abstract shots, just something different that I've spotted as I've wandered about. A really nice set of steps. Might work, it might not. The other side of the harbour that I was on originally, there's benches. I don't know if that one worked, I might not put that up. And that's it. I'm not doing any more today. That's a better exposure. So it is. It's just bringing out the texture on the concrete. Yes, that's me done. So even though I've not had any sunrises, and I've had even less sunsets, it's really good just to get out and about. It fills me with enthusiasm. Anyway, that's me, and I'll pop up the images. Hopefully they've worked out. And I'll catch up with you again soon, boys and girls. Thanks for coming along. Have a good couple of weeks. Toodaloo.